This week, the Fiends watched.
Talk to me.
What was it?
What? I don't know!
I let you in. Oh my God.
We saw this movie separately.
Why would we see it together?
We would kill each other. We do not know what each other thought.
Nope.
Which is the fun of the show, guys. So join in, okay? We want to know what you thought. Write it down in the comments.
But don't spoil.
Mikey, I tell you first?
Yeah, I got to ask you first, man.
Well, do it.
I'm gonna. Mikey, what did you think, spoiler-free, about 2023's Talk to Me?
Could be 2022. I think it was released in Australia in 2022. It says 2022.
Time zones, you're right.
On IMDb, it's just weird. But anyway, I had such a high score, went into it with not high expectations, just like, oh, wow, it's going to be decent. And it's decent. Like, it's an original idea. It's a low budget. The acting's not too bad. There's some cool looking ghosts in it. But at the end of the day, it failed at one major thing, which 90% of horror movies fail at, and that's being scary. This just wasn't scary in this. Like, I thought, oh, it was going to be a scary movie, trailers, and it just wasn't. So that's my biggest flaw, is that it just wasn't scary. I was intrigued with the characters involved, wasn't scary. Sorry, I went on. I'm going to go off. Mikey, what did you think of Talk to Me?
I'll talk to you right now. I would say that Talk to Me under-delivered based on what the reaction before it came out was. Oh, man. I mean, have we seen a higher score from the audiences and critics? I can't think of the last time there was.
Especially with horror.
100
Horror movies always get, like, if you see a 60 with horror, you're like, this movie's going to be great.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So there are some cool things about this film.
Yes.
And overall, I did like the watch. I liked being in the theater. There was one other person. I liked the watch.
Yes.
It is missing something that to bring it home. Yes, the scares, I totally agree. But I didn't love the last 20 minutes. Like, I'm just like, bring it home, and they didn't. So I just don't think it's fine. It's I think we're on the same page. You said decent. I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, listen, it's a cool idea. It's basically a bunch of teenagers, and they made up, which I thought was realistic. If a bunch of teenagers found through a bunch of gypsies or a bunch of fucking weirdos, they got passed along this hand that can connect to the dead and spirits, what would they do, right?
Snapchat.
This is what they would do.
Yeah, that felt real.
They would have parties, and they would fuck around, and people would, and they would let kids go, like chain them down, just all fucking taken over by ghosts. That part felt real.
Totally.
I was like, oh, that's really what, in like a different movie, maybe different directors, they would do like a family finds the hand, but I liked how it felt real. This is what we would have done.
No question.
We would have done that. Got high and fucking just let our friends and us talk to whoever the fuck was out there.
And like people would be denying it, but it's like it's a cool like urban like legend almost. Where it's like, oh, you got to go to Gene's house because
touch the hand, man.
You're
You
like,
can't
no
touch the hand.
way. Like that part was cool. Like I liked them seeing it on Snapchat, and she's like, they just brushed past it. Like, do you think that's real? And they just moved to the next thing. I'm like, oh, I'm intrigued.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that part was intriguing. I love that aspect.
Yeah, it felt real in that sense. And the opening, though, the opening scene I thought was fantastic.
Awesome.
It was very visceral. This is one of those movies where it starts, you have no idea what's going on. Like you have no idea. Nope. And it just starts at a party and they're trying to get in with a hunter, whatever his name is. They're trying to get to someone. He just it's his brother, and then he just stabs his fucking brother and then stabs himself in the face with the knife, and then it's just like, boom. Nothing to do with our main people yet. And we're like, okay, I like when horror movies do that.
Right.
They give you a non sequitur in film terminology, where it has nothing to do with the other thing.
No, you don't see the hand. You don't see anything. You just you're just going, what? Now the mystery's there, and now you're saying, what's the answer going to be?
Exactly, and you eventually find out. They just had it before. It's not like a big mystery. They just had the hand prior. Richard Pryor. Yeah,
Mikey, I feel you though on the scares because they didn't really have any.
How many do you, because I thought about this, how many scary scenes, at least you, were in the movie for you? I'm not talking about you had to be
No.
terrified.
No.
I
but
just
you're
mean
like, oh, that's fucking creepy.
where
yeah.
they tried to be scary and it actually kind of worked a little bit on you.
Sure. I mean, the one that comes to mind right now
Is what?
Is the very first time you see the person across. Where it's like that lady with like the messed up eye, and she's kind of like, oh shit.
I let you in.
I let you in.
The one scene I'm thinking of.
I know what you're gonna say, so go ahead.
Oh, you know what I'm
I know
saying?
what you're gonna say now, because
Okay.
this is if you ask me like what's next, I would say this. Go for it.
Okay, cool. You went for jump scares. It
Well, I
makes
just
sense.
went for the first thing that happened but it was that. I don't know. See, that's the thing though. They shouldn't have done the fucking music if they just showed the person.
I don't. Was there music with the accompanied with that?
There was like a little ding, like there was a sting.
Okay,
for sure.
yeah, a little bit, yeah, but it's
yeah.
still a jump. That's still a jump scare. It's,
I
it's
agree.
going right
I
to
agree.
there. You know, I thought the only scene that was scary in the whole entire movie was when she was with her ex-boyfriend in the bed, and in the corner. I always say this in horror movies:
Mm-hmm.
just get a dark room with a shadow over the corner, and there's something in the corner, no loud sounds, and then you hear something, and something starts to kind of crawl out at you, and that's exactly what they did. And I was so impressed because it got me for a long. I'm like, what the fuck's coming at her? And then it's just like this old decrepit ghost coming at her, and that's the one scene where I'm like, why not just? You know how to do it. You did it. You just did it.
Multiply it.
Do it
Amplify
again.
it.
Multiply.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Multiply it. So that was the only scene that was really, scary in any way.
I totally agree. As far as because no jump scares worked.
No.
like seriously, none of them worked, and they're so predictable, and you've seen it. The things that I was like, oh wow, were when people were self-harming, like that kid,
Yeah,
our
disturbing.
main little kid, dude, disturbing. You're like, oh my god, like the person in front of me was even going like, oh, but yeah, that was effective.
Yes.
because that's like. You don't I think of Hereditary, right? The kid slamming his head on the desk.
Absolutely.
Or, Toni Collette banging her head against the wall. But this was like real. It looked real. It felt real. And you're like, is this kid dead?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Exactly. That's the inciting incident of the movie is when the little brother of the main girl, her best friend, and her little brother, he tries the hand. But I didn't understand. I'm like, well, why is it different if the kid's like 14, they're 17?
I know.
What the fuck is the difference?
No, you can't do it, bruv.
Yeah, this movie's Australian, guys, which I had no fucking clue.
Thought it was American as me and Mikey.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's just like, hey, mate, put it down over there. And I'm like,
Where's Hunter? Hey, where the fuck's Hunter? I'm just like, what?
that's very loud. Just
Sorry, well,
keep
I
it.
backed up though, so
My ears have come out of the closet. They're gay ears, and I can't take loud sounds. So,
about time.
like you just screamed,
Sorry.
it's fine. And they had one of the leads was he trans?
Oh, I couldn't tell if that person was identifying as a woman.
I have no idea.
Because I don't even remember the name. But
Don't remember the name.
it could have been a flippy floppy name, It could have
Sure,
been
Tyler. Yeah.
But it could have been trans. I was thinking trans.
Right? I was like, oh,
woman.
and
Well,
she's
man,
like the bully in the beginning. You know what I mean?
I know.
And I'm like, is she trying to be a guy? Like,
Yeah.
That's just the way it came across to me.
agree.
Like she's because in any 20 years ago to even 10 years ago, you're casting like a quote unquote cool guy to play that role.
You're casting the number 2 guy, the guy who's
Exactly.
from like an island, Pacific Islander.
Sure, he's playing that role.
no question.
But now you cast a trans man driving a Trans Am. I mean, unless they're not. I mean, I don't know. We could
I
be
don't know.
idiots, but
I didn't look it up, but I got that feeling.
yeah, you got because she's playing the role of like the asshole douche who doesn't give a fuck about anyone.
100%.
So it's just a weird casting choice
That's
for me
a
there.
weird scenario to put that type, not that type of person, but that person, because I'd
Yeah.
be like, oh no, this person seems like fine.
Yeah, specifically
I want
that,
like a scary, like a bully-esque, like pain in the ass, like, oh, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
That's not
the
that.
generic asshole. She was
agree.
playing the generic asshole. I'm like, hey, maybe in Australia that's cool.
Sure.
Maybe that's
Wouldn't
cool.
fly here in America,
No way.
even though we are pro-trans on this podcast and platform. is what
I'm
saying.
very pro trans.
Come on.
Not trans man and Trans Am, but a trans woman in a van hoodwinked. Cut that.
Delete it. Delete it, come on! The spirits. They followed us.
We have to do something. You want to do it again?
So the main girl, this is one of those horror movies that tries to get deep.
Yeah.
It takes itself very seriously, and it's a serious, scary movie. It's not tongue-in-cheek whatsoever.
I agree.
Very, very, very serious. And that was kind of to its detriment, I think, a little bit.
Right.
I think you could have had a lot of fun with the idea of a hand that you connect with, and it brings you to any ghost throughout the entirety of history, you know? So it just took itself very seriously with themes of, self-harm. I don't want to say the word because we'll probably get flagged, self-harm.
What else is new? Self-harm's a good. That's the best way to say it.
Self-harm and ending your own life.
Yes,
I guess that's
think
the way
you
to
are
say it.
allowed to say that.
That's the way to say
YouTube
that.
Lords, yes.
Yes, please don't.
But yeah, no, for sure. It got. Well, that's the thing. I didn't like the whole. I know you need it for this movie. I didn't like the whole subplot of the mom.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what I was saying is they're trying to go deep and say something more.
Right.
And that bogs it down a little bit. It's like, this is a movie about a fucking ceramic hand that teenagers are touching and turning into ghosts. Like, why are we making it this serious, heartfelt thing? You can add a little bit of that, but the mom becomes a major player in the entire movie.
And then you see her behind frosted glass, and then you look back and she's gone. I'm like, dude, this is not. Well, I did not think that this was going to be what we get.
And then by the end, she's the one pushing the plot forward, literally pushing the plot forward. So it's like, and it's not her, it's not her, but.
Well, that's the thing too, and I'm sure we're going to dive into it when we dive deeper on the continuation.
Yeah, guys, this is our spoiler-free review, so we will be getting deeper into our audio podcast. Click the link in the description.
There's some holes in this scenario. Now, granted, it's a hand that you touch and ghosts appear. So, like, look, I get it. That's a little crazy, right? But I just don't understand the logistics.
Does it have to do with proximity? Does it have to do with, time?
Who the person is?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
because why isn't someone from
why isn't Hitler?
16...
Why isn't Hitler showing up?
Yes. Why is it someone you might know or local?
Yeah,
that's a little wild. If you're gonna go for it, go for it, and that's where you can have fun with it.
Exactly. That's what I was saying before. It wasn't like. It wasn't like an Evil Dead vibe where all of a sudden they shake hands and they're talking to George Washington real quick. And nope, get me out of here. It could have been a comedy.
Right.
They could have made this a horror comedy easily with this premise. But they went with the A24 does the,
Of course.
And I don't think they made this movie.
No, they bought it from those two kids.
They absolutely bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely, two kids.
The two guys who made it, they're brothers,
they're brothers.
But it was like, they had a little following. They got some money from Australia. We always see that before. I think it was before this movie, funded by Australian.
Same thing as Canada? They do the same thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's in the trivia on IMDb. But it was they got the funding and then it got picked up. And I get it. I mean, you could, even the trailer, you're like, I could see it. Yeah, I could see why A24 is attracted to this.
Yeah, this is a total A24. That's what I mean. Serious undertone themes in it. It's like a total A24 movie. But just not scary.
No, get it? You can have fun with it while making it scary.
They had the awesome idea to make the ghosts and the dead people look good.
Absolutely.
They looked good. And at the end, the old granny lady, she was great.
In the bed?
But they didn't utilize her to scare us.
I know.
It was just I was looking at her and I'm like, oh, that's scary to look at that face. But utilize her. Do something with her.
Right.
They just didn't do anything with her. So I love the practical effects on the ghosts, but they didn't utilize them besides that one scene where she comes crawling out of the corner.
Nope.
That's it.
No, it's lame. And there was so much focus on the mom. Now it's all about the mom. Yes, it's about the kid who's in the bed, but he's in the bed. He's tied up, whatever. The mom is it's all about our main character.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the main character, and the main character, it becomes about her mom connecting with the main character. And basically, she is going crazy because she touched this hand. We're going to get into spoiler stuff about why her and all that, all the deeper stuff of, well, why? Why not, why did the young kid beat himself to death? There's no rules really set up.
There's none.
Yeah. Well, there is.
Some.
You touch it, you have to say, I let you in.
I let you in.
I let you in no more than 90 seconds.
Which is arbitrary, and it's why, is 80, are you safe at 89?
Well, then she does it, and they go past, the first time she does it, they go past 90 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And then nothing, that's it.
Yeah,
She's fine. So there's not a whole lot of rules. No. There's surface level rules, I guess.
There is.
Yeah.
But then you can start to poke holes.
Definitely.
And then you can be like, well, why did this person get, quote unquote, possessed? Why did this person not? There's a lot of questions that go on there.
Yeah.
But I like that they didn't have to, and look, I don't want to see a sequel of this. I'm sure if it's successful, maybe, but who knows? But like, I don't need to know anything more than what they told us about the hand. I don't need to see any origins. I don't really need to see any of that. I get it. It's a hand. It's like a monkey's paw. Oh, okay.
Sure.
The monkey's paw exists and you get 3 wishes.
Yeah.
Boom.
White people shit, man, I tell you.
Fine with that.
Okay.
Just don't give us a sequel.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling they might.
Yeah, they might. But speaking about the hand, they set something up earlier in the movie that doesn't really pay off, where they first introduce it at this party, and they're like, you know, some of the other kids who haven't tried it are like, oh no, it's just fucking, it's a ceramic hand or whatever. And they're like, no, bruv, you know, it's actually a gypsy or whatever they say, a gypsy's hand. If you break it, there's a real purified. What's the word I'm looking for? Petrified. I was thinking of wood. I can go for some wood. You go for some.
I could go for some wood.
Go for some wood. I want to get wooed.
I can go for being love to be wooed. Just saying, I can go for some wood.
They say if you break it open, there's going to be a real hand inside, and then it never gets.
Yeah, they never crack it.
open.
You would think there'd be like a suspicious, like, hold on.
No, dude, literally, when they're towards the end of the movie, the hand flies across the room at one point and then just stops.
Yep, no problem.
I'm like, I thought it was going to hit the wall and break and it was going to be a real hand.
I know.
And then
like,
you got fucking Cousin It, you know, coming after you. It's just a
that's where you
fucking
can
hand.
have fun with it, but they can't because that's a copyright infringement.
It is copyright
That hand is
yeah.
copywritten.
Yes.
No, you're right. I was just expecting more. But if you think about it, like the setup, like the first half hour, I'm totally in. Because I loved the opening. The mystery's there. I love the introduction of the friends. Yes, you know, you get the best friend, you get the best friend's brother. You can see that the main girl's kind of drifted. So you're getting all this about our characters.
Yes.
Party happens. And then I think like after the inciting incident, that's where it goes downhill. I think after that inciting incident, as soon as the mom of the main character really starts to come in, I'm like, you had something going and you went a different direction.
Yeah, they went, we're going to focus on this main girl and how she's going to go crazy, basically.
Right.
That's all they did. It didn't become like a fun horror movie. It was like, oh, like a bot. And let me just say this, my fucking theater, I was like this in my theater.
Oh, it was crazy
Second time it's happened to me. I think it was...
Yeah, shout him out. Which one?
I saw another movie. It's at Landmark. Dude, I saw another movie like a couple months ago, whenever it was. It's all fucking high frequency front sounds, no low frequencies. And it's like when someone would slam a door, Mikey, it was so fucking loud. Every crackle of a bag of chips, everything was so loud. I literally took napkins and put them in my ears because I could not take the noise. I could not take, Mikey, it was such bad. It wasn't even coming out of the
proper speakers.
Yeah, proper speakers.
Yeah.
It was all front. So that's all high frequencies.
Right.
No low frequencies whatsoever. So it didn't ruin it because I liked watching the movie, but I just had never experienced it that bad. I did before. What movie was it?
Was this one
I
of their
forgot.
BTX? Was this one of their BTX theaters or no?
I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It was just,
you walk in, there's a big BTX thing, so maybe it wasn't it. But
no, I don't think so.
you would think that the sound would be better. But anyway, so yeah, no, that sucks, dude.
Dude, it was horrible. Because the trailers were loud. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's just trailers.
It's always flip flop. Either they're too low and you go, it's just the trailers, or they're too high and you go,
I'm like, maybe it's just the horrible trailers that I'm watching for fucking 20 minutes. And then the movie started, same exact sound. And I'm like, oh my God. Jeez.
You could always run out if you have to.
I stuck it out.
You could always run out if you have to.
For what?
Tell them to lower it.
No, I'm never going to do that.
I've done it when it was too low, but like other people were bugging out.
Exactly,
like
yeah.
All right. But hey, you still watched it and you had things in your ears and you saw
Yeah, I got through it. Yeah, I got through it, man. It was just so loud. And for a horror movie, it's like it was just very annoying, guys. So don't go to Landmark. Do not go to Landmark in the town that we live in.
Correct.
I let you in. I let you in.
All right, so are there any last thoughts, though, on the film?
It had potential, but it just fell short. I don't know why it's getting such great reviews from both sides, personally.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, and I think it's because horror movies, when they're like pretty decent and they have decent acting and they cover a theme like that, they're going to get high praise.
They get juiced up.
Yeah, they get juiced up.
I get it.
Otherwise, horror movies just get buried by the critics. So I will ditto and dildo those thoughts that you had.
Sounds fun.
And we will score this up. And then we're going to go to our audio only section where you guys can just listen to us. You don't have to look at our ugly faces and hair, you know? But that's it. So who goes first for the score? Mikey.
Yeah.
1 through 10 on the dope meter. What is your score?
That's the thing. It's competent, right? It's a competent film. So
Super
overall, I'm going to give it a 6.2.
I like that. 6.2. Okay. I'm going to give this movie a 7 on the dot.
Okay.
7 on the dot. Put it on the spot.
But do you recommend?
Absolutely.
That's the thing. I was telling people, like, yeah, go watch it.
It's an original idea. It's lower budget, but doesn't look it.
No, it looked great.
Yeah, exactly. Look great. And the acting by the main girl was good. There were some other bad actors, like the kids, but
Sure.
she was a good actress. So I do definitely recommend it.
I concur.
But when you go and you have to say, talk to me, and then
I let you in.
sure, guys,
That's it.
we let you in. Come in us.
Every day.
All right, that's it. We are gonna go to the audio only. Click link in the description, or don't, or just go jerk off.
Or this is it, right? Like, or this is it, and thank you.
That's it. Thank you so much. We're gonna be back next time with a movie not about
Australians.
sure.